day before 9/11, America admitted $2.3 trillion vanished. And by tomorrow, the story was erased forever. On September 10, 2001, Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld dropped a bombshell. The Pentagon could not account for $2.3 trillion. Trillions gone. Enough money to rebuild every city in America. That missing sum was larger than most nations' entire economies. Some called it bad accounting, others whispered black projects. Underground bases, weapons we'll never see. Technology so advanced, it had to stay hidden. And then, one day later, the world changed. The attacks came, the headlines shifted, and the story of the missing trillions was buried in smoke and rubble. Ironically, the very wing of the Pentagon hit was where financial records were kept. Coincidence or cover-up? Americans paid with lives, while questions faded into silence. The money never came back, the answers never came. 2 decades later, $2.3 trillion is still missing. Was it incompetence, or the greatest cover-up in modern history? Did you know America once had a plan to kill its own citizens, just to start a war? In 1962, U.S. generals secretly approved a terrifying idea called Operation Northwoods. It was more than a plan, it was a blueprint for fear written in cold blood. They wanted to shoot down passenger planes filled with ordinary Americans, and then blame Cuba, so the country would beg for war. Miami, the heart of Cuban exiles, would be bombed to spread chaos and terror. Even Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, was marked for fake attacks. Cuban families fleeing to America would be drowned on purpose, their deaths used as propaganda. Fake passenger lists would be handed to the press, so no one would question the lies. Drones rigged with explosives would be flown into buildings, shocking images broadcast to the world. The generals even calculated, down to the exact number, how many American lives needed to be lost. But when the plan reached President Kennedy, he stared at the paper and refused to give his approval. Operation Northwoods was buried in the shadows, locked away where no one could see. For 40 long years, the truth stayed hidden, erased from the story of America, until one day the files were finally declassified and the secret was exposed. When Americans read the truth, they were stunned. Shock turned to outrage. One man, one choice, and one missing signature stood between thousands of lives and betrayal. This wasn't foreign enemies. This was our own leaders.
People don't send their kids to war. Their kids get appointed to positions without even being in military service whatsoever. And with that, you have to take on the responsibility of harming people who you know did nothing. Collateral damage. And that's what we're going to be facing with American people, not foreign soil anymore. It's going to be American now.